Hi friends, welcome to Moms and Money, where we talk about managing money, making money, and saving money for the women in the household. And today we are talking about something incredibly important, and that is cash flow. The importance of cash flow, what it means, and how we apply it to our everyday budget. Now, I mentioned cash flow when I talked about in the previous video, simple budget categories that should be included in every budget. You can tap this eye right here to watch that video. Here I have listed just some simple budget categories. This is my budgeting printables. And if you're interested, if you're a pen and paper type of person, you can purchase some of my budget printables in the description box down below. But if you're an Excel type of person, I also have my free zero-based budget that you can download as well. Now, let's talk about cash flow. Now, listen, y'all, my handwriting isn't the best, okay? So just bear with me, all right? So we're gonna talk about cash flow. Cash rules everything around. No, I'm just kidding. Now, what is cash flow? Okay, and this is a term most businesses use. As a matter of fact, all businesses use. It's on the business side, and they use it in accounting and in finance and data analytics. The cash flow definition is the amount of money coming in and the amount of money going out of a business, okay? So what does that mean? That means we usually have positive cash flow or negative. So it's kind of self-explanatory from here. You know, if you need a visual, you can picture this, right? Say we have a water tank and you have water coming in at the top at a certain speed, and then you have money coming out at the bottom at a certain speed. And if those speeds are not equal, or if one is greater than the other, that is going to affect the amount of water that you have in your water tank, right? So if you have more money coming in, then your water is going to be high and you're going to have a positive cash flow. But if you have more water coming out, the leak at the bottom is stronger, then that can lead to a negative cash flow, especially if you don't have, you know, that money coming in. Let's look at it like this. What causes negative cash flow? Well, expenses, right? That's the biggest thing, expenses. And then what causes positive cash flow is income. So what are some example? Of course, we have, you know, our bills, debt, or just regular everyday expenses, insurance, all of that. Over here for income, this is your job, any bonuses, if you get a tax refund, anything like that, that's going to increase your income. Right? So then we want to talk about, obviously we want to be on the positive side, right? So we get a positive cash flow by increasing our income and decreasing our expenses, the money coming out. What leads to a positive cash flow? Well, this is where financial freedom comes in. That is how you get to financial freedom, having a positive cash flow. But then what happens if you have a constant negative cash flow? Consumer debt, big time, because it makes you borrow money to pay for all of these, right? And with financial freedom, you're not as dependent on your income, because you've reached that level of financial freedom where you're good. So this can fluctuate and you'll still have that freedom there. So what can we do to increase our income? Because that's the key, right? Side hustles. Okay, that's where side hustles come in, because we don't always have control over our job and how much money we make at our job. Yes, you negotiate. Yes, you can ask for a raise. Yes, you can anticipate a bonus. But honestly, y'all, we have no control over that. But what we do have control of is a side hustle. That's why I say, y'all, having multiple streams of this is what will get you here. Okay, I cannot preach that enough. Having multiple streams of income is what gets you here. The people who have 2, 3, 4 income boxes, okay, they're gonna constantly have a positive cash flow, okay? Because the water coming in, back to our water tank example, is big. They have multiple water droplets coming in, okay? And then also they control this part. They minimize this as much as possible. So how you do that is paying off your debt, reducing your bills if you can. Just some of these we don't have control over, right? I mean, if you're already in debt, you're already in debt. You've already made those decisions, but you do have control in paying off your debt, and you can pay off your debt faster if you have this, a side hustle. Okay, now I know there's lots of videos on side hustles. I've created lots of videos on side hustles. You can tap this eye right here to watch some of the ones that I've talked about before about increasing your income, but I cannot stress that having multiple streams of income is huge. That is what leads to this. Okay, because it starts with this. Everybody has cash, right? You have cash coming in, or just cash period. And what you do with your cash, it can either lead you to this or it can lead you to this. Okay, I want to help you and motivate you on this side. Okay, because we always talk about paying off debt, how to do that, reducing our bills, reducing our expenses, reducing our debt. We talk about this a lot, but we need to start talking about this. Having those multiple streams of income, creating a side hustle. I have my favorite side hustles listed in the description box. You can look at the link below if you're interested in starting one, but I'm a true testimony to this. You know, my side hustle went from a side hustle to a full-time career, and sometimes that happens. I'm a walking testimony to that. So I encourage you that, you know, even if you feel like, oh, well, I'm not talented at anything, or I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do, I encourage you to push through those mental blocks. Push through those mental blocks and tell yourself that you are able to do it. Okay, if God blessed you to be on this earth now, to make it to September 2020 is a blessing. Okay, now almost October 2020 is a blessing. Then you need to walk in your faith, walk in your purpose, and put what you're talented to, monetizing that. Monetizing your talent. We are all talented in something and in some way. Everybody has a gift, and it's about finding how you can monetize that so we can get here, because that's the overall goal. This is the goal that we all want to strive for. Okay, I just want you to know that this is attainable. It's attainable to you. So that is how I explain cash flow, my little janky flow chart. Leave a comment down below and let me know. Have you started a side hustle? Do you have a side hustle? Do you want to start a side hustle? And if you want me to post an updated video about side hustles and different trends for 2020, a lot has changed actually during quarantine. A lot of people have started side hustles during the quarantine and have been really successful in making a lot of extra money for themselves, or maybe their side hustle changed and turned into their full-time career. Because sometimes, especially now, during these times of COVID-19, this will happen, where you unexpectedly get laid off. When you do that, then this doesn't come, okay? And then with this, you know, this is questionable. This is just like, maybe you don't even know, you know? So sometimes having those multiple streams of income, you have to rely on those to just get by, just to get yourself by. Of course, we have our emergency fund for those of us who are following, you know, the baby steps. Of course, you want to have your emergency fund, something set aside, something that you have set aside just in case. But if you're in the midst of building your emergency fund and then this happens, you know, your whole world can be turned upside down. You know, and I pray that if anybody's going through that, I pray that God sees you through it. I pray that your faith is increased. And I pray that, you know, you're able to make the right decisions so that we can still continue the journey to here. Okay? Because from here to here is possible. And I know that sometimes this can be a dark tunnel. This can be a really, really dark tunnel. And a lot of it is you have to train yourself mentally to know that this is possible. You can still come from here to here. Okay, you have to encourage yourself and have faith and know that with the right decisions, you can get there. Okay, so leave a comment down below and let me know, you know, if this was helpful to you, and if you have any side hustles or if you have any questions. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, you can tap my picture on the screen, and you can also check out my previous video right next to it, and all of my social media platforms all listed down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.